Good morning. Welcome to Harvest Home Hermitage. I mentioned a while back the orchard that I'm planning on putting in. I'm actually in the process of getting it in place. I'll give you a little tour. I put in the apple trees. I'm going to put in 2 pear trees today. I have plans for 2 plums and 2 peaches as well. All of these are on dwarf rootstock and are going to be, they're topped at, well, the pear trees I'm putting in today look like they're topped at 4 feet. The apples were topped at 5 feet. That will help keep them compact for the area. As is appropriate for dwarf trees, I'm putting them 15 feet apart. The plum trees will be smaller, and they will be approximately 10 feet from the rest of the trees. 10 to 15 feet is the appropriate distance for minimum of 10 to 15 feet is appropriate distance for dwarf fruit trees or semi-dwarf. As you can see, I've got the goats out with me today. They are right on the edge of the property line. That nascent dead hedge right there is on the property line itself. So here we go. One of the interesting things about laying this out, do you remember way back in junior high when you probably said or thought something along the lines of, I'm never going to use this stuff in real life while sitting in your algebra class? Well, this is where you get to use this stuff in real life, because we want our rows nice and straight. I've got 2 apple trees planted 15 feet apart. The method for ensuring that they are exactly square, however, does not mean simply measuring 15 feet away. Eventually, what you're going to do if you try that is you're going to move outward from it and sway a bit. So what we're going to do is use the Pythagorean theorem. Pythagorean theorem is used to determine the hypotenuse of a right triangle. In this case, the right triangle has 2 legs of 15 feet. In order to find the hypotenuse, it's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Solve for c. You've got c equals the square root of a squared plus b squared. In this case, 15 feet squared plus 15 feet squared comes out to, anyway, I can't remember the exact numbers, but the hypotenuse comes out to 21.21. We're going to say 21 feet is good enough for what we're doing. So I have measured 21 feet from this apple tree, which is an Anna. This is a very low chill requirement for the Anna. It's perfect for this area. And the distance to that pear tree is 21 feet. So now we get to dig our holes. Started. Okay, as you can see, I've dug a hole now. It's not the hole, it is a hole. Oh, it is slightly bigger than the pot. That will be changing because I will be going into, get that out of the way. No, cedar, no, cedar. Damn it. Get out. No. Now you see the problem with having goats out while you're trying to do this. Anyway, sorry for the foul language. Anyway, I need to dig the hole wider and a little bit deeper. So let's keep going. Our little girl is going in the hole. She is a pineapple pear. This is a variety that will has low chill hours and will, damn it, goats, will cross-pollinate with the other variety I bought. Which is a Florida home. Now I lucked into these over at the local big box garden center for $17 a piece, thereabouts. They happened to be pears that will actually produce in our area and will cross-pollinate with each other. You have to be careful about that with the big name stores, because a lot of times if you go to someplace like Home Depot or Lowe's, even Tractor Supply, you will find trees that are great, got good names, do not produce fruit in your area. You've got to be sure that you've got the right number of chill hours and that the fruit will produce with those chill hours. The tree may grow just fine, but if it doesn't have the chill hours, it won't grow, it won't produce fruit. Same thing for pollinators with certain species such as apples and pears and plums. They must have a pollinator, and it must be the correct type of pollinator, because if you have an early pear and a late pear, they don't bloom at the same time, and so they won't cross-pollinate. So that is the whole point of finding the proper cross-pollinator. It's got to have the right genetics, it's got to have the right bloom time, and the right cool number of chill hours. So here we go. Now you'll hear a lot of people say, oh, you should fill in that hole with good grade soil, the same kind it was growing in. No, do not do that. You will be, once that root ball gets past that and hits your native soil, it's going to slam into that native soil, and it'll be completely different from what it's used to, and it will actually shock the plant. Best thing is just get it into the native soil as soon as possible. Here we go. And now our little girl is in the ground. You notice I'm being careful about this root flare. This root flare right here. In grafted trees, you see the graft right here. You do not want to bury the root flare. Or actually, in any tree, you do not want to bury the root flare. You certainly don't want to bury the graft. Point. But it's very important not to bury the root flare. And this one, and this is one of the hazards of buying from big box stores. The root flare was already exposed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bury it slightly deeper than it was, but still exposing the root flare, and I'm going to let that silt in naturally. And hopefully make that tree a little more secure. Now I'm going to go get several 5-gallon buckets of water and water it in. And that is the beginnings of the Harvest Home Hermitage orchard. 2 apples, an Einsheimer, and an Anna, and now 2 pears, pineapple, and Florida King. All right, here we are. The one tree is planted. The goats are tied up in the front. The chickens are released all around me. You can hear them rustling. Now, ideally, I would go ahead and plant that second one. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that. I am just too tired and too sore at the moment. One of the sad truths of dealing with fibromyalgia is that I do not have the same stamina. Same goes for diabetes. I do not have the same stamina I had before. But you have seen the basic procedure. I've gone over the selecting of types of trees. Don't look at what's going to go down at the big box store. Look up and find out what your cold hours are, for the chill hours are for your area. Ouch, mosquito. What the chill hours are for your area. Find varieties that grow and will produce, that will not only grow and make a tree, but will actually produce fruit with the chill hours in your area. Check on the website of your local extension agent for proven proven varieties for your area. And don't forget your high school algebra, because you really do need it after all. Oh, have a good day from Harvest Home Hermitage. Bye-bye. No, they're not in the garden. They're in the area around the garden, which they're perfectly welcome to eat. I keep my eye on them. Lettuce coming up over here. Some things to make the bees happy. There's a brick walkway under that too. The leftover eggplants are really beautiful. Mustard greens plant. Sweet little bees, still fluttering around, still buzzing around and humming. The asparagus has seen better days, but it's still coming up. Not only is it fall, but the goats love it. Brassicas beyond that, and onion sets beyond that. Assuming that the chickens leave any of them in the ground. And I've got a couple of artichokes right here in this pot with spinach coming up around them, I hope. There we go, you can see the spinach coming up. I came back out this evening to work on the second hole, the second tree, because I was feeling a little bit better. And I just wanted to show you how much of a difference one location to the next can be. This area actually had a pear tree in it at one time. You'll see the stump of it right there. It was so sick and so broken that it was broken in half and rotting. And I had to take it out. But, as you'll notice, the soil over here is very different from the soil on the other side. So it all depends on what has been going on your property. You may have very different soils from one area to the next.